What does chronologically mean? Chemo fog brain? Yeah, we're going in order how they happened. I think that's it. All right, so we're going through it. And actually, the plays that are coming later are the most important plays of the game. So we will go chronologically off the play-by-play. So we talked about busts. Not our favorite kind of busts, but in defense, we don't like these kind of busts. But they had too many of them in the game. And the Arizona Cardinals, first of all, they realized, you guys are playing a lot of zone in this game. You're not going to man up Kyler Murray. You got to have eyes on this quarterback and running situation. So the first one, early in the second half, they run Marvin Harrison out of a 2-by-2 formation through a zone. He runs a deep over route. He's wide open in midfield, flat out drops the ball. Closest pursuer is Fred Warner. Fred is saying, Marvin, thank you. I busted on that play. I don't bust often. So what happened on this play exactly? You see this a lot where they cover 3 defense and a 3-by-1 to the number 3 receiver. This time he's a 2-by-2, and he's the outside guy to Trey McBride. Fred Warner is just not getting deep enough. Everybody else in the deep secondary looks like they're occupied with other routes. Marvin Harrison runs the deep over where you start on tight right and go across the field left. How does he drop that ball? He has had a problem with contested catches. This is a non-contest, flat-out drop, running naked. We'll get confirmation. Tim Ryan's going in to look at it. It was not a traditional cover 3, but it's not on him. It's on Fred. The mistake is on one of the best players in pro football, not sinking deep enough, occupying his eyes. Watch it again. He's the outside guy. It's a 2-by-2 formation. So Fred is on the other side of the formation, the weak side backer. He goes into his back pedal. They run 2 vertical routes on the other side to occupy the safeties. Marvin's coming across the field on an over. Fred has got to pick him up. He's got to get deeper. That's hard. When he's up around the line of scrimmage and he's making all the plays in the run game and batting balls down and peanut punching, but he's got to get deeper. They ran that same play later in the game, and I think that was more on Marquise Siegel, number 36. This one's not. Watch the way they occupy the deep secondary, and it's just the pad of the ball and the over route, and that's Arizona could have won the football game with that happening. So that's a bust. Clean that up against zone coverage without Nick Bosa. All right, I don't know what they call it. Spider 3, Y banana. You've lost all these eligibles. Ayuk ain't here. Debo ain't here. Kittle ain't here. But you got the most brainiac offensive backfield ever. You got an Ivy Leaguer and a Stanford guy. So what are we going to run? We're running toss to McCaffrey. No, we're going juice off the left side, Guy Haberman.
Ball the 2, tie game. 49ers with it. Mac Jones turns, play action, rolling left. He's got Juszczyk. Juszczyk makes the catch, and the 49ers break in. It's a touchdown. 49ers, the first of the day. And the Niners take the lead. What a sweet release.
Yeah, what a sweet release and a terrific play call, because Arizona's thinking, man, Mac Jones is limited. They're not going to use his legs. They run a keeper. He leaks his way around the corner, and they totally forget about Kyle Juszczyk, who bounces out. Wide open, Mac Jones put it on him.
So how did it work? You're right, Tim Ryan. And Mac Jones was moving a little better at this stage of the game, but not great. But they've been play repeating and going McCaffrey over and over in a single set, going right little play action. Look at him sell out on that side. Kyle Juszczyk, just one bluff block, and they completely drop him. And he's the lonesome end quite a bit. He's going to catch that football. He's not going to Marvin Harrison it. This is on Kyle Shanahan. This is the low red zone. We're beating our brains in down there. We can't score on them. Look at McCaffrey. Open up the arms. The ball's coming to McCaffrey. Everybody gets inside. Who did they beat on that play? Among others, Budda Baker got turned around. Look at the great Budda Baker, number 3, on that play. Take the cheese. There are other guys that involved there, but watch Budda insert there, and just he lets him get out because he's trying to get to McCaffrey from the backside, and he drops him. So that Budda Baker is one of the best in football with film study. They run the same action over and over again. Mac's knee's not great. It's all braced up, but good enough to get out. Puts it right in the pocket there, and it's a touchdown for Kyle Juszczyk, obviously. a huge play in the football game. Good call by Guy Haberman. Better call by Guy Haberman coming up. You wanted to say something, Silver, there?
No, I was just going to say, anytime you can get Budda Baker out of position like they did, you're going to capitalize on that one. And I don't know if you could hear it very well on the call with Guy Haberman, but it was very cool how in real time, as soon as the crowd realized Mac Jones had kept that ball for himself, the crowd was already ready to go with the juice touchdown. Niners.
Chim and I talk. They drop him a lot. When you have this backfield, this is the guy. Everything is McCaffrey. Budda Baker, how are you going to get through all that mess to get over there anyway in the run play? Maybe he cuts it back right into you, but you're thinking they're going him. They're not going to Juice, and you just drop, this generation's Tom Rathman. You can't do that. So that is a brilliant call by Kyle Shanahan. Great call play call by Guy Haberman. Guy's all over it. The key thing to this was the quick snap. We'll get into it more, but Guy does identify it. So our next play is the 4th and 2 deep shot to Ricky.
So Brendel turns and says something to Mac Jones. Mac's in the shotgun. McCaffrey beside him. Quick snap to Jones. On 4th and 2. Jones taking a shot down the sideline. Pearsall squeezes it right on his shoulder inside the 10-yard line. What a gutsy call. What a throw. And what a catch.
You said everything. That is the trifecta right there. And Ricky Pearsall is checking himself out. Looks like something in the sternum. That ball sails right over his head. And somehow, some way, he's able to hang on to it. That is pro football. Big throws, big completions, big catches versus glove coverage.
And guys all over the quick snap with Jake Brendel. We'll break it down a little bit, and Mark Sanchez detailed it. But Jake was just kind of hanging around. He wasn't up on the ball at all. He walks up on the ball. There's no cadence that Mac doesn't. I just snap the ball. It's just go. And Kyle gave us the play call, obviously. Trips right, 3-jet Florida. Not a perfect ball by Mac, but good enough against the inside coverage there of Keitrell Clark, and a great contested catch by Ricky Pearsall. Ball, you'd like the ball a little more to the outside. Damn, it's good enough. Just put it on the body, able to catch it off the shoulder pad. Tough catch there. Take it to the ground. Clark is going to try to Upton Stout it, I should say, and rip that ball out. So the key to the play was where 13 lined up Keitrell Clark. He lines up inside of Ricky Pearsall, which gives him the outside go. If he lines up outside or even mans him up, the play's dead and they go somewhere else. But he gives him the outside release. Ricky beats him down the sideline. If you're even, you're leaving, John Madden loved to say. Good ball by Mac, and you got to catch it all the way to the ground. But the key to the play was the way the 49ers quick snapped them on a 4th and 2. Kyle's going for it more on 4th downs, and you'll see it. Not only on the goal line, but Eddie Pinheiro is not going to make long field goals.
Yep.
Watch Jake Brendel. Watch him talking there, and then gets up on the ball and snap right away, and he's able to get the quick release by Ricky Pearsall. So Kendrick Bourne was also on that play on the out route, coming from the 3-by, so it's trips right. You have 3 receivers to the right and 1 left, but the guy who became the primary based on how 13 aligned, Keitrell Clark, was Ricky Pearsall. Ricky got back into the game, made big catches. That's the big play on 4th and 2 with the sternum. But Jake Brendel, that was one of the key to the play, was getting off on that. A lot of times in these 4th downs, you don't know. Are they really going to snap the ball or not? We're going to roll right into it. Jake Brendel milling around. Last guy, Mark Sanchez, was all over it. Guy Haberman was all over it. Not a great block on Calais Campbell. He went over and doubled, but Mac got hit, got it out. And not a perfect ball by Mac, but with the pressure of the great Calais Campbell at his face, it's good enough for Ricky, and you got to secure that all the way to the ground. So what a big play. The 4th and 2 to Ricky Pearsall.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Pearsall. And by the way, when I heard the word sternum from Tim Ryan, I was holding my breath that Ricky Pearsall's name would get mentioned in game injuries yesterday from Kyle Shanahan. Fingers crossed that was not the case to this point, and they've needed every bit of Ricky Pearsall's presence, his availability, and yes, most importantly, the production that he's given you. 4th and Ricky, everybody. What a play that was. And by the way, with Mac Jones, I know that was his front foot where he had the knee brace on and not the back foot, but every snap thereafter in the late 3rd quarter, as soon as he handed it off and had to lay out to get it to McCaffrey, every single snap thereafter, I was watching him closely with his mobility. And so to be able to get enough on his legs to get that ball to where it needed to go for Ricky Pearsall, Mac Jones toughed it out there in the fourth quarter, and thankfully no major news on the injury other than just day-to-day as it was from that preseason re-aggravation.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it! Upton Stout. This is a game-saving play. In 2019, it was big play Dre on the goal line in Seattle against Jacob Hollister, and that was much bigger. It saved a game. It saved a division. It saved a number 1 seed. It saved a path to something called the Super Bowl. This is week 3, but it is against the Arizona Cardinals. But make no mistake about this play. If Upton Stout does not make this play, the 49ers lose on Sunday. Are they going to lose? No way. Let's do it, Guy Haberman!
3rd and 9 and out of the shotgun. Kyler Murray, straight drop. He steps up, he throws, and it's broken up. Upton Stout with one of the biggest plays of his young career to break up what looked like a sure catch and a first down for Zay Jones, and the 49ers have a shot.
Well, there's those long arms by the third-round rookie. We've seen them throughout this early season. Zay Jones had it. Upton Stout never quit on it and ripped at the pocket with those long arms and strong hands as Zay Jones was going to the ground.
All right, here he is. So Upton Stout's in the slot formation. You got Zay Jones lined up as the inside receiver, tight formation, runs an over route across the field. And Upton Stout, like a lot of times, he gets in a trail technique. And Zay Jones is a bigger guy. Stout's only 5'9". So what do? Again, here's the formation again. It is tight to the right side. Kyler Murray, or the left side is where Zay Jones is. Look at Upton Stout. We're not going to see him in the frame. He's all 22s for wide receiver play. Drives me nuts. You got to widen this out and show more. This is not a great angle. But there, right there, Zay Jones, stop it. The ball is above his head. He's a bigger receiver. They're going to pick on Upton Stout at 5'9". He allows the ball to go into the catch radius. He's got it. He should pull that down. Now it's let's do it time. Let's rake. Play through his hands cleanly, contest it, pull it out all the way to the ground, and break it up. Zay Jones has it. He's behind him. He beats him on the over. Look at that. Who got mossed? Larry Fitzgerald dropped that ball? Marvin Harrison did. But right there, no one was around him. But Stout played through the body, got the sternum. He got into the chest plate, raked the ball out, and drove him to the ground. And that is tenacity. He is only 5'9", but he does have long arms to overcome it. He was beaten on the play. They attacked him on this play in a special. And if the ball is secured to the ground, the 49ers lose the football game. He had to go through a lot of traffic there. That was a tough route to pick up. He's in the slot on the defensive right, left. He gets there. They're isolating it. They went right at him, and that is a game-saving play. If he doesn't make that play, they lose the game. And they continue to pick on him. Seattle went right at him with the Kubiaks, with Judge Jackson Smith and Jigba. New Orleans also went at him, but he was able to come back. It's just right. Look at Zay Jones, red gloves, and he's got the ball in his hands. When he's got the ball right there, you thought Niners lose. Game's over. He's going to pull it to the ground. Rip it down, Zay Jones. Don't let him get up. Gets into his body. Goes right to the arm right away. Contests it. Battles it. Where does Zay Jones lose the ball? Stout going to drive him all the way to the ground. He has to secure the catch all the way to the ground. This is a guy that bench pressed 225 pounds 21 times, most of any DB at the combine. He may be undersized, but he's not under-muscled. He's not under-heart. He's got long arms, and they will go at him. For a rookie to come in here and play nickel corner in the NFL is quite a challenge. It happens over and over and over again, and just so many big plays, obviously, to win this game. But if Upton Stout does not make this play in his third ever NFL game, the Niners lose the game. Right there, you thought they lost. He's got the ball. Zay Jones has got two hands on the ball. Two hands. It's over. They just need a first down. The Niners have one timeout left. They kneel it out. The Niners lose. They go to 2-1. Arizona's in first place, and Bosa's out the year. But Upton Stout would not allow it as he played it all the way to the ground. So let's do it is what he bellowed when he got drafted to everybody, from John to Kyle to Jed York. We had him on a few days after that, and all he yelled was, "Let's do it." And he studies. And watching him, and I wasn't around a lot, obviously, this year, but There was one OTA where he fanned out in the right flat and made a play diving across his body out of the slot and knocked the ball away. And I was standing right next to Robert Saleh, and I didn't have to holler for Saleh because Saleh was hollering. He's like, "Yeah, you see that, man? Play!" And he's normally, Robert's not. He's getting animated, but at practice he's more calm. Game day, the emotion comes out. I love it more than when he was a head coach. You see it because he's invested and he's calling a brilliant game. But I think, I don't want to say right, but right there in that you saw, wow. So does this work now? Diamador Lenora can play outside corner. Renardo Green can play outside corner. And we move Upton Stout into the nickel. And they're going back and forth. They're using Jair Brown in big nickels. There are times they're going back and forth. In that situation with Zay Jones, did you want a bigger nickel on the field? That was a thought. Hell no. Upton Stout's on the field. They're going to attack the guy, and even though he's way undersized against the bigger Zay Jones and those red gloves had it, he was able to play on it. And Kyle was saying he does it in practice all the time. You see him get beat, and you think he's going to give up a play. But when he says, let's do it, he does it all the way to the end of the play. He made that play at the end. Zay Jones got there. Drew Petzing called a good play. He's got to think that's the matchup we wanted, and we're not going to be able to complete that ball. That came out of the 2-minute warning. It was a 3rd down and 9 with 2 minutes to go. He breaks that up. Now you got a whole 154 to come down the field. It was a game-saving play, but Arizona had to like the matchup. They had to like the ball placement of Kyler Murray. They liked Zay Jones with the ball. They thought they had the game. A game they should have won. And this one wasn't dropped like a few others, including Marvin Harrison Jr., DeMarcado, the running back. This one was ripped out of their arms by a rookie 100th pick in the draft. They got as a compensatory pick. What a start for Upton Stout's career. Let's do it. Let's come up with a game-saving play. Your first home game as a San Francisco 49er.
Hey, first of all, it's a good lesson for all the young athletes out there. Finish the play. Never give up on the play. Plain and simple. I noted this yesterday. The commonalities between week 2 and week 3 for the 49ers defense, multiple 3rd down stops were required in the 4th quarter to ultimately shut the door. Fred Warner batted the ball down. Then there was the safety, and then you had Upton Stout with that play so wonderfully broken down right there. 2 yards of separation at the time of the throw, closed it to 1/8 of a yard, and then even so had to stay with the play all the way through the ground, rip it out of the arms of a bigger-bodied, more experienced Zay Jones. And Upton Stout, man, growing up on the fly. Week 1 in Seattle, he was called for pass interference in the end zone. Week 2, got called for a couple of penalties and one that was really bad on a 50-50 ball. I thought he made a great play on. Tim Ryan agreed. This week, first home game, let's do it, coach. And to replay that call from draft day, you know what you guys got? You just got a dog. Well, if he's going to be like that for this defense and this young secondary, Diamador Lenore, a Renardo Green, and yeah, the undersized but not under powerful and no shortage of heart Upton Stout in that nickel position. What a play right there. And yes, it literally saved the game. So there we have it, our 4 plays. Marvin Harrison, the brutal drop in the busted coverage that Fred Warner had he got away with. Ricky Pearsall on 4th down. You had Kyle Juszczyk and the 1 touchdown for the 49ers. And then, of course, Upton Stout breaking it up to give Mac Jones an opportunity to execute that game-winning drive in the 2-minute drill. Nicely done by Papa. Nicely done by our
Walter.
director,
Walter did it all. Walter pulled it all together. Good work. Well, and we went 4-play. We missed the 4-play. I missed 4-play. 4-play is so distant. They're talking about, in my condition, condoms and what? What are you talking about? I'm a boy in a plastic bubble, bro. Ain't no one doing that. Anyway, so it's good to have some form of 4-play with Walter. So I got to give you a hug and a. Walter put that all together. And normally when we went 4-play and did like 4 plays in the playbook, we broke the stream. But Loader's gotten better, Michael's gotten better, and we didn't break the stream. So good work. Good work by Walter.
Very nicely done.
There's no condoms